In the headlines tonight, a near-fatal stabbing at Folsom, feared connected with gang warfare. George?
There was a grim find in the south area of Sacramento, a man who had been dead for weeks in his home. Rick?
Well, we'll have our weekly NFL roundup and take a look at the Aggies' chances this coming Saturday. And guess who's got a new toy?
And we'll have the premiere of Rainbow Radar. All this and more next on NewService 10.
Eyewitness News with Bob Burton, Jennifer Smith, Stuart Sato, Bob Zappi, and the Eyewitness News team.
Good evening. The very slow-moving Pacific storm has now arrived in Northern California, packing powerful winds and very heavy rain.
From the Sierra to the Pacific, live from California's capital, this is First News. Reported by Bob Burton and Catherine Kiefer.
The spirit of California, Montana.
From the Sierra to the Pacific, live from California's capital, this is News 10. Reported by Dick Cable and Jennifer Smith.
Good afternoon. Dick Cable's off this week. As California's assault on marijuana moves into its 4th year, pot farmers are changing their methods to avoid the law.
The spirit of California, Montana.
From the Sierra to the Pacific, live from California's capital, this is News 10. Reported by Dick Cable and Susan Blake.
Dick Cable, Jennifer Smith, and Harry Stockman. Working in the spirit of California, this is News 10 at 5.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, there have been no new bodies found at Sacramento's F Street burial site today, but investigators did go inside the boarding home involved.
Dick Cable, Jennifer Smith, and Harry Stockman with the weather. This is News 10 at 5.
The local station recognized with the most Emmy Awards. You're watching KXTV, Channel 10. This is a News 10 special edition.
Well, we certainly hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage of the Olympics, and there is much more to come. Hello, I'm Alan Frio.
And I'm Jennifer Smith, and we have a quick News 10 update for you. Thanksgiving for this Valley family is tinged with anxiety. Noticeably absent are twin sons who are representing Uncle Sam in faraway trouble spots tonight. Good evening. Hope your Thanksgiving has been wonderful. I'm Jennifer Smith.
I'm Dick Cable. Dale and Christina are off tonight. Also ahead, the manhunt for the suspect in a Bay Area murder and armored car robbery is over. We'll tell you how it ended. Talk about some anxious moments. Wait till you see how this airliner landed without its nose wheel.
And quick, where's that leftover turkey?
Ooh.
Don't turn your back when there's a hungry hound around. News 10 at 11 is next.
Working to be on your side. You're watching News 10 at 11.
And being away, it's hard. They're just starting off their life. So that's the hardest part.
Now, from KXTV, Channel 10, the spirit of the West, covering the day's top stories. This is News 10 at 11.
After more than 4 months, there's been an arrest in a cold-blooded home invasion killing.
You're watching News 10.
A group of local rocket engineers with...
You're watching News 10 with Alicia Malaby and Dana Howard. This is News 10 at 6.
Good evening. It is political theater seldom witnessed so early in the presidential race. 4 Democrats hoping to be the nation's next president will find out who has the most support.
Tomorrow.
This is News 10 at 5.
We begin tonight with developing news out of Placerville. Tyler Witt, a teenage girl accused of killing her mother, changes her plea today.
This is News 10 at 6, connecting with our community.
Wall Street's worst fears came to pass today, causing the biggest point drop in history. Soon after the government's $700 billion financial bailout plan failed in Congress, the Dow Jones Industrial fell nearly 780 points in the largest ever one-day point drop.
This is News 10 at 9.
Good morning to you on this Friday, May 17th. I'm Dan Elliott.
I'm Kiba Arnold here with Jeff Marr. Good morning to you, Jeff.
This is News 10 at 5.
The vaccination issue is still very much on the table. There is a new version of the bill that some are calling watered down.
This is News 10 at 6.
Topping our news tonight, a News 10 viewer told us about a horrific attack that goes way beyond bullying.
This is News 10 at 11. This is News 10 at 11.
A bear killed in Auburn, but was it in self-defense? What the man who pulled the trigger told News 10 tonight.
And saying goodbye to a Modesto mother and her 2 children. What the victim's sister had to say about the man suspected of their death.
But we begin tonight with our state of emergency and a breaking news development. A 13-year-old girl in the hospital, and the gunman is still on the loose tonight. What neighbors heard leading up to that gunfire.
And a reported rape in Davis, the meeting between a young woman and 3 men that investigators believe led to a sexual assault.
And money down the drain at the golf course, the findings of an audit that shows where your tax dollars are going.
Another day of 80-degree temperatures for the valley, but we've got some changes on the way. Rain is coming next week. I'll have the details coming up. ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
This is ABC 10 News at 6.
Thank you for joining us. Northern California is still recovering after a violent night. Several shootings, stabbings, and car crashes that led several dead and injured.
Oh, whoa, what happened to the cool music? 'Twas a night of 1,000 stars out of yon in Hollywood, but the Astros broadcast only held 2 stars that we were concerned about.
Oh.
Well, the rain is here and lots of it. This is what the roads look like in Stockton near Pacific and Hammer Lane in North Stockton. Wet and slick, the rain forming puddles on the side of the road. Good evening, I'm Kurt Rivera. Emily has the night off.
It may not have felt like a normal June day, but things are about to change in a big way. Until then, it's Monday, June 12th. And here's what you need to know. Sleds and skis in June. A winter-like storm brought snow to the mountains, giving skiers the opportunity to enjoy the slopes as summer gets underway. Squaw Valley says the slopes will be open the 4th of July for the first time in history. Set off an illegal firework in San Joaquin County and you're going to jail. During a display today, the sheriff says anything that shoots off the ground or explodes in the air is illegal. And if you're caught, you could be looking at 50 grand in fines.
The Secret Service says it does not have tapes of a private conversation with President Trump and former FBI Director James Comey. Mr. Trump raised the possibility of tapes last month after firing Comey. Former NBA bad boy Dennis Rodman is headed back to North Korea. He's been widely criticized for insensitive comments and for singing leader Kim Jong-un happy birthday in 2014. Rodman is expected to arrive tomorrow.
Start with the big game tonight. Man, Pierre, this is like politics. One side is like fighting mad, the other side celebrating. I know my family's a perfect example of it.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Kirsten Holmes. Big developments in the officer shooting death of Stephon Clark. Lawyers who helped the families of Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, they're in town today.
Hey guys, I'm Adiante Till. Do you think that the March for Our Lives campaign will change anything when it comes to gun control? Go to abc10.com/vote right now.
And I'm Rob Carlmark. Folks, it's going to be a nice day. I know it's cold outside at the moment, 30s and 40s, but we hit the 60s today and the 70s by tomorrow.
I'm Michelle Apon, and we've seen some impressive snow totals for some ski resorts this March, but I'll give you the full look at the season snow totals across those ski resorts.
And gas prices are up. I'm Brittany Begley. I'm going to save you 30 cents a gallon coming up in a half an hour.
All right, so happening for you today in about 5 hours, there's going to be a press conference for the police shooting death of Stephon Clark.
If you're watching the news at 5 on the ABC 10 Information Network, I'm Liz Croy. It's happening right now. For a second day in a row, protesters are hitting the streets, demonstrating the killing of Stephon Clark, an unarmed black man who was shot 20 times by Sacramento police officers Sunday night in his grandmother's backyard.
Happy Friday. Awfully glad you're joining us today. You're watching the ABC 10 Information Network.
And just for them to be able to come back and reconnect, I think is going to be paramount.
Just weeks after the Camp Fire disaster, we'll show you how teachers in Butte County are working to get things ready for kids to return to class on Monday. And as the community prepares to say goodbye to Stanislaus County Deputy Tony Hinestroza, killed chasing a suspected drunk driver, lawmakers are pushing a plan to close a loophole that seems to allow drunk drivers to flee the scene and receive a lighter sentence.
A nice break, saw some sunshine for today for our Friday, but the next storm is already on the move and it hits us for Saturday. I've got it timed out.
The annual boat parade is this weekend in Stockton, and there is something new this year for the iconic event.
You know, it just really brings the community together.
So let's get this show on the road, huh? The news at 6 starts right now. Good evening, I'm Chris Thomas. Thanks for joining us. In less than a week, students in Butte County will return to school for the first time since the Camp Fire.
This is KXTV 10, Sacramento, Stockton.